This is video number 56 in support of the 3D Experience CATIA generative shape design application playlist. This particular playlist is dealing with the wireframe tab in the ribbon, and the particular icon that I would like to discuss here is called the spine. The application of spine is actually quite uh, important in the surface design, but for now, we're not worried about surfaces. We'll worry about it later on. The, the definition of creating a spine, according to the help documentation, is that you can create a spine that is a curve normal to a list of ordered planes or planar curves. So you have a bunch of planes that you select them in some manner, or you have sketches in certain planes, then you can create what is called a spine. Okay, we'll see that. And as I said, this is important in complex surfaces such as swept, lofted, or filleted surfaces. We'll worry about it later on. Here is the wireframe tab. And notice that there's a pull-up menu, there's the spine. We have already discussed the spline, helix, and spiral in previous videos. Okay. Now, when you click on it, this pops up, this dialog box pops up, and we're going to do an example in a minute. The CATIA V5 version of this tutorial is appearing in the playlist that you see there, and the V6 version, or essentially 3D Experience version, appears in this dialog box. There's some few pages that are copied and pasted from the help documentation, but it's not complete. Okay, let's go ahead and do a simple case first. I'm going to do a very simple situation where I have a spline drawn in a plane, for example, something like that. Exit. And for a reason that you may not see right now, I will also create a point that's off that plane. So on the wireframe, here is a point on that plane. I'm going to move it here. So basically, I have a spline that is in that vertical plane and a point out there. Now, what I like to do is to create 5 planes which are perpendicular. I want to create 5 planes in space, but the easiest way for me to do that, I can create 5 planes that are perpendicular to that spline at the locations that are automatically created. So that we did it in one of the earlier videos. Could have been videos 3 or 4, I'm not sure. But anyway, we go to points and plane repetition. So I select this spline, and because I haven't selected the first point, automatically it's going to be a point on the spline. And I'm going to make 5 instances of it. All right. And I also want to create the normal planes. So this is a cheap and fast way of creating planes perpendicular to an arc. Let me hide these other planes. Okay, good. Now, might as well hide the sketch too. Very good. Now, let me put the sketch back on actually. Right. So we can make a spline of these, not the spline, the spine of these planes. So let's go select the spine icon, and I'm going to select these planes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so the spine is created in this direction. If I flip it, reverse the direction, there it is. And why I left the original spline there is because I want to show you these are not the same. You can see that. In fact, if you look at the spine, let's change the color of it. Properties. Let's make it green and a bit thicker. There. If you look at the view from the front, it's obvious that the original spline, which was used to create these planes, has nothing to do with the spine that is drawn here. Okay, very good. Now, let's go back to that spine. Now notice that for the start point, it says the computed start point, some point that it by itself, but I can also select this to be a point of interest. For example, this point that are created outside and it looks like this. So this is now the spine. And again, it's different from what I had earlier and different obviously from spline. You can see that. This is the spine. The original was the spline that I used to create these planes. Now, this is fine. This is spine number one. Let me do another one. I'm going to hide this. Hide it. Okay. So let me go to these sketches and create some, to these planes and create some sketches. So for example, on this, I'm going to sketch. Let me draw a circle. Maybe, let me see now, a circle like that. Exit. On this plane, I'll draw something else, another circle or another shape, maybe a rectangle. Exit. And another one on this one, maybe another circle, just so that I know what I'm doing here. Yeah, something like this. Exit. On this one, or maybe a triangle. It makes no difference. Some planar basically shapes, which happen to be closed in this case. They don't have to be. They don't have to be closed thing. In fact, on the last one, I will do maybe just oh, I don't know, something that's open, like so. Okay, exit. Now notice that I have planes and on them I drew some sketches. Now what I can do, I can create a spine associated with these sketches. So back to wireframe, spine, and select the sketches, and this one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And that one, notice that it is creating something, which is the spine of these sketches that I did. If I reverse it, nothing will happen. If I reverse it, and I say, okay. So this one is the spine for those sketches which are on those planes. So properties, I'm going to change the color here to purple and give it thickness so that we can see it better right there. Now, could I have done this thing from that point? In other words, this was automatically selected, but can I select that? Sure, I can do that. And it's going to be over there. Now, what can I do? Let me undo this. Control Z. Okay, good. Let me double click on the spine. What I can do is I can skip things. For example, I can go to sketch number 4, which happened to be one of these. I can't remember the last one. Let me see now. Number 4, and say remove it. Okay, notice that the spine changes. Which one did I remove? Sketch number 4. Let's make sure this was 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I removed this. Let's do another one. Go there. Let me remove that 4th one, which is that broken one. Okay, the sketch changes or the spine changes. So it's fairly straightforward, and it may not be obvious why we need it, but obviously in surface design, this is something that's important. All right.